All right, in these next couple examples, we're going to look at drawing rotations in the coordinate plane. So this problem asks us to rotate triangle JKL with these given vertices by 180 degrees about the origin, meaning the origin is going to be the center of rotation. Okay, so obviously I think we start here with plotting the ordered pairs J, K, and L. So we're just going to say that J is the point 2 and 2. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and label this right here. And remember, we're going to always label our image, our pre-image, with just that capital letter. The point K is going to be 4 and -5, so it's going to be right here. And we'll label that with a K. And then our L is 1, -1, and +6. So that is going to be right here. And again, we'll call that L. All right, so very, very neatly, again, take your straight edge here and make these lines, okay, that connect these vertices. So we got 1, then have 2, and then have 3. So there is our pre-image graphed perfectly there. Okay, so remember, we can just go ahead and maybe copy these down and just sort of show the rotation of that 180 degree rotation. So we started with this point right here with J and K, which is 4, -5, and L, which is -1 and 6. Right? And each one of these points is going to go through a specific change. Right? So recall from your rules, and you should be able to see these from your notes, that when we have a 180 degree rotation here, and we start with X and Y, we're just going to change that to -X and -Y. Okay? And so again, what we actually change to here is going to be the point J prime, K prime, and L prime. Okay? In the actual coordinates of this, if I make both the X and the Y value negative, I'll have -2, -2. For my next point K prime, I will now have -4, +5. And for L prime here, I will have now 1 and -6. And so I'll go ahead and plot those ordered pairs here. So J prime, again, -2, -2 will be right here, and it looks like it is the same distance away from the origin as my image. So I'll go ahead and label this one J prime. Now I have my next one, K prime, is -4, +5, which will be right here. And so again, I'll label this one K prime. And then L prime will be 1 and -6. So 1 and then 6 down way at the bottom there. Okay, and that is going to be L prime. And obviously, again, I'll carefully connect the vertices, okay, making this really pretty simple. Okay, 2 and 3. Okay, and now you can see that I have graphed my 180 degree rotation. So I have my blue pre-image and my red image. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at one more example with a different degree of rotation. Okay, so this one, it asks us to rotate triangle ABC, and it gives us the coordinates for those, obviously, and now it's 90 degrees about the origin. Okay, so again, unless they noted otherwise, this is going to be a counterclockwise rotation. Okay, and remember, you can kind of look back at your rotation rules for a 90 degree rotation. If you start with X and Y, that's going to change to where we switch X and Y around and make the Y negative. Okay, and so this is going to be our rule for a 90 degree rotation that's counterclockwise. Okay, and so obviously, again, start by going ahead and graphing your pre-image. So 2 and -1 will go right here, and that will be our A. Okay, our B is 4 and +1. So that's our B value, and then C is 3 and 3. Okay, and we'll carefully connect the dots here as fast as possible. Okay, and this would be a good time to go back and sort of set up how you're going to show your work for this problem. Right, so we're just going to kind of relabel our points. So A, B, and C. So 2, -1. B is going to be 4 and 1. And then C was 3 and 3. Okay, and so now we're just going to use our rule for our 90 degree rotation to just sort of write down the coordinates of our image. Okay, so again, we're going to switch X and Y around and then make the Y value negative. So this is now going to be 1, and 2. Okay, notice how again I switched them around, and then instead of writing -1, I wrote 1. Okay, now again, this next one, I'm going to switch these around, and I'm going to have now -1 and 4. Okay, and again on this one, the 3 and 3, obviously you switch those around, you still have 3 and 3, but again we'll make this one negative, so this is going to be -3 and +3. Okay, and now we just have to transfer all of this work to the coordinate plane. So 1 and 2 would be right here. Okay, I can go ahead and label that A prime. Okay, B prime is going to be -1, +4. And I'll label that B prime. And then C prime is going to be -3, +3. And C prime. Okay, again, carefully kind of connect the dots here. Make sure you're nice and neat on your final exam on this. Otherwise, points are going to get docked off, definitely. Okay, so be very, very accurate with your graphing. Okay, and that's an example of a 90-degree rotation where we are a fixed distance from the center of rotation to each of the corresponding points.